What we installed is an industrial-grade dual-roll fan. Compared with the commonly used oil pressure fan, this fan durability will be better.
Before installing this fan, we need to install the fan base first. After installation, apply heat dissipation silicone grease. Don't apply too much silicone grease, just 5 points. Then install the fan. Fasten with screws. Put on the diagonal screws first. Then plug in the power supply of the CPU cooling fan. Our CPU cooling fan is installed. Now we start installing the memory sticks. The gap on the memory stick is aimed at the anti-dump port on the motherboard. Insert it. To prevent the memory sticks from loosening during transportation, we will tie the cable ties when we ship. And then cut the excess. This completes the installation of our memory stick. Next, install the SSD drive. Since the M.2 hard disk generates a lot of heat, we need to install a radiator. Plug it directly into the M.2 slot. Secure it with screws. Now our CPU, memory, the hard drive is all installed. Next, we put the motherboard into the case. This is the compact case designed for this motherboard. Put it in. Secure with screws. So our motherboard is installed. The next step is to install the power supply. Our machine is equipped with a 550 watt power supply. First plug in the power supply cable of the motherboard. Then install the power supply. Secure power line with zip ties. Secure from outside with screws. First, install the diagonal screws. Don't tighten too much. Tighten securely at the end. After the power supply is installed, the wires inside the chassis need to be sorted out. Start installing 3.5-inch hard drive after organizing. Install hard drive bracket before installing the hard drive. Our hard drive bracket has shock-absorbing structure. Secure the hard drive to the bracket with screws. Then place it in the chassis. Secure it inside the chassis with screws. Once fixed, connect the hard drive power and SATA cables. It's assembled. Insert power supply line for light source. Install light source control board with inserted wires onto bracket. Secure with screws. Once secured, install light source output terminal. Connect wires between light source control module and control panel. Attach the other end of the wire to the control panel. Mount control panel onto the chassis. Secure with screws. Install bracket onto the chassis. Screw to fix. After fixing, connect the power supply line of the light source control board, and it's installed. Next, connect the front USB switch cable and indicator light cable to the motherboard. First, plug in the front panel USB 2.0, then the power supply lines for the switch, power light, and hard drive light. After inserting, tidy up. Secure with zip ties. Then trim off the excess. Install two NICs after sorting them out. Insert the two NICs into PCIe X16. Secure them with screws. Connect the power lines and that's it. Next, lead out the serial port and USB 2.0 from the motherboard. First, plug in the rear panel USB 2.0 extension cable. Next, do the same with the rear panel serial cable. After plugging them in, install the serial port and USB onto the rear panel. Secure with screws. That's the complete installation of our machine.